little break of project. This is my DC to DC converter. This is what pulls power from my alternators. I have two 120 amp to 225 amp alternators on the chassis because it's an old ambulance, and this is what converts it and charges it over. It's a Renogy 60 amp DC to DC. About a month ago I stopped working on me, and it has power to everything. I'm fixing to pull it down and take it apart because it should be working, and it costs as much as Victron. This is part of the reason I've gone to almost exclusively Victron system. Also, this area needs to be sealed better, and my filter needs to be clean. I keep waking up with a headache, and it's because dust is coming in from all the locations I am. So I need to clean this. It'd be nice to trim that, drop a little filter on that, keep any critters out that are in my rig with me. And yeah, and I would like to clean up that area. But that is my electrical. Most access is in the cab, so you can't access it from the outside rooms, and it's designed that way for security more than anything. And if I know now what I knew then, is I would have isolated this off and just turn it into a wall. But anyhow, I have my old wires from the chassis system down there. I have a hot water loop underneath it, and that's part of my heating system. Everything else, this, you know, water, I have air that comes through here, and it's part of what keeps my floor warm and me warm. It needs to be cleaned. A lot of things need to be cleaned in here, and that needs to be isolated. Originally I was going to have some sort of other filter in there, but I'm just going to isolate it off. Yeah, I'm tearing into my DC to DC converter, see if I can fix it, or if I need to buy a new one, because that's my alternate source of power, and it's coming into winter, and it just kind of turned off on me. It's like, what the hell? So I'm gonna, most of my systems are gonna be all Victron before too long, because I think they overrate stuff, because they never think that, oh, they're gonna use the actual rating of this and use it. You know, I think Victron derates their stuff, and Battleborn does the same thing. They derate their stuff also. I'm gonna get less than what it actually is. How's the pizza? Good?
Pizza is good.
Good, good. I'm glad the pizza is good. God, it's dirty in there though. Dust might have killed my Victron thing. No. To pull it out both sides before I can pull it out. I do plan on having you service it though. The funny thing is probably where my channel is going towards, tearing stuff apart, you know? Tearing it apart and fixing it, maybe. At least I can do that stuff really nicely. Anyhow, I am recording right now, but I plan on cutting out all the audio, so don't let that stop you from talking. Started a new book on tape. It's called The Fourth Wing. If you want something to listen to on your way home, it's pretty good. Fourth Wing? No, it's kind of like it, but it's called Fourth Wing. So I got these new, they're actually studio lights. I thought they were going to be RGB, but I've used them a lot since I got them. I was going to return them, but it's like, they're kind of handy. They're like little diffused lights for when you're recording, and it helps doing this other stuff really well. So I'll probably just give them a 4-star because it's not what I was insinuating as I bought.
I feel better. Damn.
I'm glad you feel better.
I was too long not eating.
Sounds like it.
Calories.
Oh, that's right.
After I got up this morning and I was cleaning a fair amount because I thought, you know, I'm going to be back today. I want to have this stuff taken care of. So I got all done, and it's like, oh, but they're not getting back today.
Yeah, I was going to tell you last night, and I forgot to tell you that they weren't coming back. They was leaving today, but they weren't coming back till tomorrow.
Yeah, well, yeah. The thinger is, it says it on the thing that I got from that today's, there's like it says 15 on the thing I got.
Yeah, they fly over to what is it, that one town, Copenhagen, and then fly out from there, and it's an overnight, like 12-hour flight. Which, in all truth, thinking about it, it's like it's a 12-hour drive up to Pueblo from here. I know it's farther for you, but
yeah.
Okay, let's see how we pull this thing apart. Oh, that slides out. I'm very annoyed about this. Fucking turn. Oh, there it goes. Now it's coming out. There we go. I'm guessing I had a fuse or something on the inside blow because there's no power coming out of it. I'm curious why they'd put
none whatsoever.
No, it's completely dead. I'm a little curious why they would have put fuses on the inside of it. And that may get bypassed, I'm not sure yet.
I think I'll go sit in the hot tub here a little bit. I feel like I'm caught up with pretty much everything I could be caught up with right now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, for the first time in like never.
Never caught up? Oh yeah, I think I got a blown fuse on the inside. Apparently it's not really rated for what it's rated for. You know, I got 80 amps.
What it's rated for?
Yeah, I got 80 amps on the other side.
80 amps?
80 amps.
80 amps. Oh my god, I feel like I'm like, this is the first day in a really, really long time that I have time to just think. I don't have a million things on my mind.
Well, yeah, we should come out of this whole you're gone and me gone situation pretty good, actually. It's 40, all a bunch of 40 amp fuses, and they all blew, and they said to have it fused for 60 amp, which makes me wonder what the hell are they doing? The good news is, well, it looks like I'll be able to fix it pretty easily. There are a lot of coils in here. I'll probably just replace it with another 40. Okay, there's lots of coils in here. Which this is supposed to do 60 amps, but everything's like derated down to 40 amps. It looks like.
I wonder what the point of that is.
Probably to.
That's designed for 60 amp?
It says it can do 60 amp. Definitely, it's blew all the fuses. At least I guess that's a good thing. It blew the fuses. I don't think they have a blade fuse that does it, and it might be this wired in parallel. Let's see. Why would it blown though? Fans don't throw out enough heat, maybe. They got plastic stuff in here to help circulate the heat around everything. Maybe that was it. Just got too hot. Anyhow, I have more fuses on the inside. I'll go grab them. This input side. Wonder if I should jump it up to at least 80. I think they're all hooked up in parallel though. This has 340 amp fuses. Alright, got back from the hardware store, went to Napa, got some 40 amp replacement fuses. You're going to see if the fuses are the actual problem or the symptom of the problem. As being said, I'm going to find out if the fuse is blown because this got hot, because I was switching on and off a lot, and it was just some sort of symptom of it getting hot and they blew, or if they blew because there's something else going on. And we'll have to take it apart farther. Actually, I'd take it apart less. We're going to take away the venting frame. And everything else looks good. I'm guessing I have it hooked up to a switch in the driver's cab so I can kill it if I don't want to charge it and get better gas mileage. So it's not pulling so hard on the engine. And I remember I was switching on and off a lot and probably not getting enough time. It's also in a compartment that may get moisture in it. It shouldn't, but it could. That's why it's isolated from the inside to the other one. But we'll drop these new fuses in here and if I can get the angle right for them. And get these in there, we'll throw it back together and go hook it up and see if it works right. If it does, I'm not going to mess with it and I'll just keep a couple spare fuses. If I'm out traveling around where I can't get it working and I need fuses, I'll just bypass the fuses. I have fuses in line with everything. I have 80. I'm guessing these 40, both of these 40s are all in parallel, so that'd give me 40, 80, 120 amps basically if it was actually running parallel. But I bet you if one of these blows, they all blow. So it'd probably drop you down. So if one blows, they all blow. So it could have just been the air in the fuses. It could have been a lot of things. It's colored. That one looks burnt. And it doesn't make good contact. And this side looks a little melted. They put a line over it so you can't see what it is, but if you get the angle just right, at the right angle, you'll see that's a 40 amp fuse, even though it's marked out. People do silly things like that, but yeah, I'll put it back together and see if it'll run. If not, we'll tear it down further with plans to do more with it, I guess. Like they have this film on it, you can see it right here. It directs the air to one fan or the other fan, and they're all silicone in place. But more likely it just got hot and blew a fuse. I hope that's what's going on. Let's just slide this over the top here. Get back to my transmission repair. Shove. And back to my book on tape. There's 4 or 6 screws underneath holding on the bottom, 4 on either side, and then whatever it takes to install it. Let's find out. Alright. I got these lights on accident. I thought I was getting an RGB pair because it said RGB on the sign. I was going to go with color lights, but I kind of like the white ones too. It goes from yellow to neutral to hard white. Really hard white. I'm going to get this back and get it in. We'll see if it fixes the problem. Alright, it's installed. Now it's a fast install and uninstall, but it's where it should be. We're going to go test it real quick here. Of course I'm not. Oh god. Whatever's in the air here is giving me a horrible headache. Welcome to Oklahoma. Oh, I miss Arizona. Never made me feel sick like this. Alright. We have power has to be on. Has to be in its power position. That has to be on, which allows the switch panel to come on, which allows our light to come on, which light's coming on now. So I'm going to check the meter. I don't know if that was the cause of the symptom. I don't know if that was the cause of the problem or if that was a cause of the showing the problem. We'll find out later on, I guess, if it blows again. 11.5 on chassis battery, and we're at 11.13.65, which is not low enough even for the chassis system to come on. But it is on, which is also good. I guess I'll mess with it later when we get low enough on powder to do it. I just cleaned my air filter for the first time in a long time. Okay, I'm turning this off. It's working. We'll have to test it later on. Nothing else gets us down the road. We gotta hook that thing up too. We could do the other project, but I really want to get that transmission done. So I have a this is my dash, and the cold and hot gauge doesn't work on this. We've gone through all the troubleshooting steps. Actually, I paid someone to go through the troubleshooting steps. I have a new gauge cluster in there that should help. We'll replace one of the things later on. Anyhow, everything seems to be working as well as it's going to be working without doing a proper down the road test. But we'll see if that was. I need to run it longer before I click it off, which is probably what needs to be done. God, I got a headache.